Afternoon, everybody. It's Melodite 63. So I just wanted to wish you all a very happy Friday, and also today's video will just be a relatively short and interesting video, or at least I found interesting. So yeah, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, before we hop into the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that bell so you know when I upload. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's please get into the video. Birmingham. Set right in the middle of the hottest part of the United States, the hazing and blistering heat holds a very dark curse in a specific place in Birmingham, Alabama. Birmingham is also known as Magic City. It was built in a very rapid pace just after the American Civil War. The growth was due in part to the iron industry. There was almost nothing in Birmingham prior to the Civil War, but after the war, what you see today is what was built in a matter of years. The Civil War destroyed the economy and freed thousands of slaves. And these slaves were now looking for work. An entrepreneur by the name of James Withers Sloss saw an opportunity to be a part of the rebuild. The furnace was put into operation between 1881 and 1883, and it was closed in 1971. An ex-worker reminisced about working at the infamous Sloss furnace. He said there is a saying, kill a man, hire a man. Kill a mule, don't buy another one. Those cost $25. Hundreds if not thousands of men got injured or died while working at the Sloss furnace. For example, in the first decade the furnace was open, 2 men were burned alive. They were trying to clean a piece of coke. Coke is processed coal. The 2 men were lowered onto a platform into one of the stacks that you can see that just towers above the city line of Birmingham. They were lowered on a platform into one of the stacks. While it was in operation, they were told to knock this piece of coke off the side of the interior walls of the furnace. While doing the job, a small explosion occurred and the 2 men fell and were incinerated alive. With all these deaths, only one can imagine the amount of suffering and pain a worker could have went through. And also with that, many souls who may think that they're still working on the old Sloss furnace. Many people believe the furnace is haunted. Michael, for example, a witness and a victim of a ghost attack, claims that he feels that the souls of the dead workers are in limbo. It could very well be due to the fact that they passed on so suddenly. The attack he experienced was from a black shadow figure. He saw the figure some distance away from him, and then in the blink of an eye, it was right in front of him, and the spirit reached inside his body and squeezed his lungs. He said the spirit had a very intimidating aura, and it very much scared him. Another witness by the name of Brooke saw a gray apparition. She says that it was standing behind a structure of some sort, and it peeked its head out. She blinked, and it disappeared just like that. An amateur ghost hunter was in the boiler room. He was sitting on a ledge of concrete. All of the electronics he was carrying started to simultaneously die. When he went to go fix one, he got smacked in the face. The slap left a mark that you can visually see, and also the handprint was cool to the touch. Not hot, like it normally should be. And the slap was so hard that even the force of it managed to move his head. In blower room number 1, you can see all the repairs done on the machines. On some occasions, management cut many corners and would often buy replacement valves at a local junkyard. One time, when they replaced a valve, it ran for a few hours, no issues. But then it seized up and the valve cracked. They turned off the machine and they tried to fix it, but they also lifted a cover and then they said, "Okay, let it rip." And then the compressor exploded, burning anyone that was in the vicinity at the time. Witnesses say it looked like their skin was boiling, and when the workers on the top level were waiting for the workers to come up from the explosion to see who survived, when they started to hear the footsteps, honestly, most of the workers thought that they were dead to begin with. And it looks like they were dying. Another old employee remembers seeing a gray apparition in the tunnel that's under the furnace. To get to the bottom, they had cars for workers that would carry them from the top of the furnace to the bottom. Many people would report seeing ghosts down in the tunnels. Even when the furnace was open, employees would report seeing ghosts as well. The ghosts are described as shadows, moving back and forth, and you can hear walking and talking, and also when you're walking down the tunnel yourself, sometimes you can hear footprints behind you. Like if there's a group of workers following you, like a train, like if they're trying to get home. The worst accident to happen at the Sloss furnace was at the blowing engine number 1. It's a steam engine that stands 60 feet tall. The Smithsonian in Washington, D.C. says it's the tallest steam engine in the world. The wheels of the steam engine would move at speeds of 35 revolutions per minute. When they were rolling, it was like a blur. One day, as a worker was eating his lunch right next to the wheel, he got snagged by the wheel and was dragged under and crushed to death. The workers that witnessed his death said that they looked away for a second and then, just like that, he was gone. You couldn't stop the wheel because it would take a long while for it to be completely stopped, so the worker's lifeless body was just mangled on the wheel by the time they even got to him. It doesn't just stop at shadow figures. There's also a malicious spirit by the name of Slag, also known as James Woodward. Many people had experiences with Slag. Slag is supposed to be the meanest and most awful and rudest person ever. He was a dictatorial manager and a dictatorial foreman, and the employees got tired of him, and it's said that the employees pushed him off the catwalk on one of the smokestacks. One day, a volunteer firefighter was walking around the bottom of one of the smokestacks and saw a figure on top of the stack on the crosswalk. The firefighter waved, and then the figure disappeared. It's hard to say what might be going on at the Sloss furnace. Could it be an elaborate tale? Or is it genuinely haunted?